I'm here with Dan Fornace. He's the creator of Rivals of Aether, and yeah, he's the creator of Rivals of Aether. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm Ender.
Yep.
So first let's go into why you decided to make this game. Like, were you started in the Smash community? Like, what inspired you to?
Yeah. So I got into Smash. First started playing it when it came out. So that was 1999. That's the first time I played. It was N64. I got into like the competitive scene in college, and the most popular game at the time then was Smash Brothers Brawl. So that's what I played. That came out like my freshman year. So I played that for about 2 years. And then for a little bit, like, Melee started to come back, PM started to get big. I wasn't playing as much, but I was watching those games as they got big, and I wanted to play them again. And then I tried to come back into Melee. It was super hard. It's very difficult to get back into Melee. So over time, I was like, what if I made a game that was like Melee, but had some of the modern advances? It had a buffer. It had a little bit easier control scheme. And that's kind of where the idea started. And then the world kind of came from another project I was doing in college called Elementimals, where it was like a 4-element card game. So I took the 4 elements and I combined it with like the Smash Bros. Idea and made Rivals of Aether.
So speaking on that, where it's like, oh yeah, it's like Melee, but a bit more accessible with like all these modern things. So the flagship character of Rivals of Aether, Zetterburn, as you mentioned, is he a character from this Elementimals thing that you're making?
Kinda. There was a fire line, but Zetterburn's biggest thing was I wanted to, right from the beginning, I knew I wanted to have a character with like the burn mechanic, and I actually had based it on Bran from League of Legends. He has a mechanic where you can hit someone with one fire move and then hit him with another one to stun him, but only if he's already burning. So I was like, oh, that could really work in Smash, where if like someone's burning and you did something. So instead of a stun, Zetterburn's more powerful. And then I also wanted like our basic character. So if you look at a fighting game, there's always like Ryu, and other fighting games even have a character based on him. So like Killer Instinct had Jago. So I was like, if you're making Smash, what would be your Ryu? And it wouldn't be Mario, because even though Mario's like the main character, he's not a lot of fun. If you're looking at Melee, you're looking at like Fox.
Yeah.
So me personally, I actually played Wolf in Brawl near the end of it. I started as a Sonic main and I kind of transferred to Wolf near the end. So I was playing Wolf in PM, even though I was like not very good at PM. I was more basing it on Brawl. I was like, Wolf would be a fun spacey because he's at least a little different than Fox, and Zetterburn could be our standard character by being based on a spacey, but also having this like fire mechanic.
And speaking of other mechanics, Rivals is a very, what initially got me into playing Rivals, because I've been playing Rivals since 7th grade, which I'm a senior in high school now, so like that's a long time. Oh my god, how long has this game been out?
So it was 2015 it came out, so 5 years.
I got this game in early access. I have
Yeah.
all those green skins from Smashland, another project you worked on.
Yeah.
That's for later. So there's a lot of really creative mechanics. For example, Raster has aerial smash attacks. He has 6 jumps?
Mm-hmm. Four jumps. 4 jumps, yeah.
And Orcane has the teleport mechanic with her puddle.
Mm-hmm.
Claren has Tipper, but with stun. Aeolus has ice.
Yep.
Crag is a piece of shit. There's a lot of fun, interesting mechanics, and then Crag's in the game. So where did you get all these ideas from a lot of these characters?
Yeah, so a lot of the mechanics, some of them I was like making ideas even before I had the characters. So like Orcane was from Super Smash Land, like you mentioned, Vaporeon moveset, but I kind of had expanded it since then because that game only had one attack button, to be bigger if I was making it into a Smash character, and that's kind of how Orcane came about. And then some of the other characters were we picked an element, and then we thought what would be cool for that element. So like that's how Aeolus's kind of whole moveset came about. It's like he's going to be ice. So like what can you think of for ice? Well, ice, he obviously has to be able to freeze people. So that was like a big part of his kit. And then we're like, also what's funny about ice is like it's slippery. So like what could we do with that? You could like maybe lay ice on the ground and then you could slide faster. So those kind of mechanics influenced then what type of character we were going to do, because we're like, okay, we need a character who can freeze people and who's going to slide on the ice. And we're like, oh, obviously like a penguin. So like we're looking at like a penguin so he can like slide on his belly, and we're like, no, we need him to be like a big heavy character based on this moveset. So we ended up with a bear, and that's why he has that sprite where he's like sliding on his belly. But it all kind of fits together at once. So once we kind of decided on the elements, it made it a lot easier to come up with both mechanics and then also like the character designs.
And one more question about the core mechanics of the game. So this game, like on a base level, it's a lot like Smash Brothers. It's held at Smash Brothers events. A lot of players that come from Smash Brothers move to Rivals, or some Rivals player even start Smash Brothers. But like major differences that most people see when they first pick up Rivals is the fact that there's no shielding, the fact that there's no ledges. Like, can you walk me through the ideas from that? Oh, also wall jumping out of free fall.
Yeah, so I'll start with no shielding because that's the most common one where I see people bring it up, and then also like people who don't like Rivals, that's like a kind of a complaint compared to Smash. The shielding was initially because I wanted to just decrease the budget. So basically, with 2D, especially if you want to do grabs and have them look good, you need the character to get grabbed, which is a reaction, and then when you throw a character, if you notice in Smash, there's custom animations for a lot of throws. So like when Charizard grabs you in Smash 4 or in Ultimate, and then he down throws you, he like puts you in the ground and he breathes fire on you. That means every other character has an animation where they're held on the ground and having fire breathed on them. So every character you add, you're multiplying the work. And we're like, if we can eliminate throws, then we don't have to do these custom reactions, and we can save just a ton of time to do characters. So once we didn't want to do grabs and throws, you're not going to do shields because you have no counter to shields. So I started to play around with what could be. I actually didn't even know if I wanted a replacement at first. When I first did it, it was just a spot dodge on shield. And then I was like, no, like this game's going to be super offensive. There needs to be like some kind of counter to aggression. So you can't just like, for example, Raster would be even scarier if there's no parry, honestly, because he can always just be swinging at you. So the parry actually came out of what could be the power shield version of dodging. It would be like you kind of have the perfect dodge.
Everyone I've talked to,
and then
it's been so smooth.
You kind of have the perfect dodge and time it. So that's how the parry came about. And it did evolve over time. Initially it was like the first frame of dodging did that. And I was like, oh, this is impossible to do. And then I was like, how about the first 2 frames of dodging do it? I'm like, no, this is still too hard. So eventually it opened up to 8 frames, and then it just became the entire, there was the entire dodge time. So that's why a lot of the mechanics are like that. The same with ledges, where I knew I didn't want to do ledges because I played Smash Bros. Brawl, and they had an issue with ledges in competitive play. They even had to make a rule called the ledge grab limit to circumvent like Meta Knight. So I didn't want to do ledges, but initially you couldn't wall jump out of like up B. There was just no ledges, so like beginners just could not get back on stage, and most characters could get back on stage. So it was cool in the sense that stocks ended early, but it made recoveries really imbalanced. Because even when I only had 2 characters, I was testing Orcane and Zetterburn. I knew like right away, I was like, Zetterburn recovery is not gonna fly if he like legit can't make it back, and Orcane can always just teleport to his puddle. So that's when I started to experiment with like, what if we did a wall jump that you could do even after you up B, and that kind of defined Rivals recovery versus like Smash Brothers recovery.
And ever since the game's come out of early access and the full game is released, you've added new things such as moonwalking. You've added new mechanics for certain characters like Zetterburn's down B cancel, gives a little momentum boost. Maple's wall cling, probably some other things that I'm not thinking of. Raster's entire kit, you know. So, and I feel like it's helped come more like round out the balance of the game. No matter no matter how many people complain about like Raster or Crag or like some of these other characters or Claren, I feel like this game's overall just like a really nice and balanced game. So I feel like, well, actually no, because even like the worst characters are super sick, and I think that's badass. Yeah. Like Elena, I hate playing Elena. Like I saw Elena at Genesis, what was that, 5? When she got announced 6. 5 was Sylvanos. She got announced on April 2nd.
Yeah, she was later that year.
Yeah. Why isn't Sambert gonna be legal tomorrow?
Nah, he's busted.
Why isn't Fox legal? There's a sick
in the workshop.
There's a sick
because
custom Fox.
only workshop characters that are in it are all OC, so all original characters, except for Yo-Yo because the animator actually gave us permission.
Gonna be badass. I think I'm gonna play Yo-Yo tomorrow.
That's what I'm playing, but dude, if you don't 5-hit into combo perfectly, he cannot kill.
Yeah,
that's the trouble.
I don't know. But that aside, I'll get into the workshop a bit later. But like, what was I talking about? Balance? Yeah, This game's pretty balanced. Elena, I've seen like a top level Elena's. I played Elena when she came out, and I was like, this character's ass. I hate her. I don't like her. And then I watched like a combo video on Twitter the same day. I was like, this character's sick. I'm gonna main her. It's like awesome. And then I played her again. I was like, nah, I can't do this.
I love watching her in tournament, especially like Sparks. And when full stream was playing her for a little bit. It's so fun to watch.
But yeah, so this game was in early access for a while, and you've had a lot of big things happen past 5-6 years. So the game came out of early access, it full release, story mode. You've been at multiple different Smash events, Evo side event, Switch version coming out. Maybe
soon TM.
Soon TM. Soon 2015, 2016. When was that announced?
The first time we started talking about it was I think like 2017 near the end.
Yeah, so I remember seeing a trailer posted on Nintendo. I was like, this is so hype. I love this game. And like all my friends tweeted me like, oh my god, Richard played this game. I'm like, yep, that's me. And
it's the online, man. It's still getting to work. We got us working with 2 people, so now just get to work with 4, and we're done.
But despite that, workshop, that was a huge thing. It's been very successful. It's still in open beta currently.
Yep.
But like, is it kind of like surreal, like knowing that like a project that you've worked so hard on is like gained this much notoriety?
I think part of it, like right now, I'm kind of at a phase where I want to finish it, like put the bow on it, be like, Rivals is done, this is Rivals.
And then work on Lovers of Aether too.
Yeah, exactly. And then just get back into the dating sim genre, because that's where my true passion lies. No, but I definitely do want to like wrap it up, but the thing for me is like, I'm not, like we work with some perfectionists. I would say our composer is definitely a perfectionist in the regards of like, everything has to be perfect. I'm not super like that, but like, everything has to like function. Like I'm not going to launch a game where like half the features don't work. So like, we just haven't been able to get on Switch because like we don't have online. I don't want to launch it without it. So that's like the big thing to kind of finish that. And then of course, since only some of the team is doing the online, like the rest of the team, we've been doing kind of updates behind the scenes. So there's stuff that's coming out that will update the game. Crag actually has a whole new sprite. All his animations will be updated. Zetterburn is going to get his loincloth. So like there'll be some visual updates and stuff because the rest of the team has been working while we struggle over this online. So it'll be nice to kind of wrap it up and like put the definitive edition out.
So out of all of the things that like has happened ever since the full release of Rivals of Aether out of beta, what's been like your favorite thing? What's been like the most disappointing thing out of like your eyes and maybe the eyes of the consumers? And like, what's the thing that you like most want to improve on currently?
I would say the most exciting thing has probably just been probably just the competitive scene. Like we kind of had no idea what to expect. Like this is kind of what I wanted to push it. I wanted to like be like the Smash tournaments that I had attended in school and like that I still go to now. Just like to be a part of it, but having like players like Soul and Full Stream who like they're known as Rivals players is super sick. I'd say the worst part of Rivals straight up, it's just how long it's taken us to do the Switch port. Like, honestly, that's been the hardest part of development by far, and like, I know there's always people on Twitter who are frustrated, but like, no one is more frustrated than I am that we're not out yet. So that's probably the hardest, and then obviously improve is getting that out would be pretty sick. That would be what I would improve. I would release that.
Yeah, I don't know. This game is amazing. It's honestly, like, and I'm not just saying this to fluster you up, but like, this game, Slap City, I feel I'm pretty sure I legitimately enjoy it more than like I enjoy most Smash Bros. Games, except for like PM Sig. But like,
That's what Trevor plays.
yeah, this game's amazing. It's surreal, and I had a great time talking to you.
Yeah.
And I've had a great time talking to me. You want to tell the people where they can find you if they're ever looking?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Dan Fornace. I have a picture of my dog as my icon usually, so if you see a pixel art dog, it's probably me. Or just hit up Rivals of Aether. There's lots of places. The subreddit's a great place to hang out. We got a Discord, just search Rivals of Aether on Google, and there's tons of resources. So check us out. Hopefully we'll be on Switch. Maybe if you listen to this in the future, we'll already be on it.
Oh, and one more question. When's the last time you made it out of pools?
I made out pools at Smash and Splash.
I'm sad.
Which
Never mind. I thought
was
you were gonna say never.
In May, I got like 30. No, I got either 25th or 33rd.
25th.
So that's why I'm actually seated above both George and Trevor at this one. Usually, George is the best developer. He's our community manager. He plays.
Yeah, I was like, Edalus is
He's
55th,
actually really good.
and like, Dan's like above Edalus.
Yeah, because I had a pretty good year because I upset a couple people.
I had to play Edalus at 5, and I was like, oh my, I'm like, oh, easy round 1.
Mm-hmm.
I was just playing against this like Forest Burn. He sucked, and like, I'm playing against a dev. I mean, like, Dan, he's okay. I've seen him play, so you know, he's not gonna be like top seed. And then I think I legitimately got like 6 stocked. It wasn't fun.
Oh no, George is definitely the best developer, especially when playing other people. When him and Trevor play, we're always pretty even, but when it goes to tournaments, George always does the best.
Yeah.
Mostly because I think Edalus is the easiest to autopilot.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna be honest with you.
I had a. Well, I mean, it's kind of Edalus, but also I just have a heavy problem in general when I play Smash Bros. I had a local where I did a side event Rivals. I was top seed. I was running my way through bracket, ran into my friend Cade, who was playing Edalus. It gave me a run for my money. Like, I had to switch off of Claren, who's my main, to like Zetterburn, because like I feel like I just couldn't make it back. Like, I can get the damage off, but I couldn't get the kill because you could just. Like,
I honestly think Claren struggles against the heavies. Like, her 3 hardest matchups are probably Craig, Edalus, Solanas, because if you can't kill, then she's bad.
that's probably why I hate Crag and Edalus.
There you go.
Anyways, thanks for talking with me.
Yep.
Have fun. Don't get lost.
Don't get lost.
Yep.